Imagine a handful of soil as a city. Now imagine that inside that city, billions of invisible worms are hunting, feeding, breeding, escaping death, and recycling the planet beneath your feet. This is the hidden world of soil nematodes. They are not insects. They are not bacteria. They are not tiny snakes. They are animals, real animals, so small that most pass through life unseen. Yet they may be among the most successful animals on Earth. A nematode is a roundworm. The word comes from a root meaning thread, and that name fits them perfectly. Under a microscope, many soil nematodes look like living glass threads, thin, smooth, transparent, tapered at both ends. They bend through the darkness like pale ribbons moving through an underground ocean. But that ocean is not a pond. It is the thin film of water wrapped around grains of soil. To us, soil looks dry and solid. To a nematode, it can be a maze of wet tunnels, mineral cliffs, bacterial forests, fungal highways, dead leaves, root surfaces, and microscopic predators. Every grain of sand is a mountain. Every drop of water is a lake. Every root tip is a borderland between plant life and the underground food web. Most soil nematodes are tiny. Many are less than 1 millimeter long. Some are only a few hundred micrometers. A few are larger, but the majority are far below what the human eye can easily see. They live in a world where a teaspoon of healthy soil can hold a crowded universe of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, mites, springtails, tiny insect larvae, and other nematodes. Their bodies seem simple at first, but simplicity can be powerful. A typical nematode has a long, unsegmented body. It does not have legs. It does not have a backbone. It does not have lungs or blood like larger animals. Its body is covered by a flexible outer cuticle, a protective skin that helps hold its shape. Inside is a tube within a tube design, a mouth at the front, a muscular pharynx that pumps food inward, an intestine running through the body, and an anus near the rear. This is one of nature's most efficient designs. The cuticle protects the worm. The fluid inside the body helps act like a skeleton. Muscles run along the body. When those muscles contract, the nematode bends into waves. It thrashes, curls, and glides in S-shaped motion. In open water, it swims with whipping movements. In soil, it pushes through wet spaces between particles. It does not move freely through dry dust. Soil nematodes need moisture. Even when they are called soil animals, they are still linked to water. They live inside the microscopic water films that coat soil particles, plant roots, and decaying organic matter. Without that moisture, movement becomes difficult. Feeding slows. Reproduction may stop. Death becomes close. But nematodes are not helpless. Some species can survive harsh conditions in resting stages. Some can endure drying for a time by slowing life down dramatically. Others survive as eggs or cysts. Some, like the famous laboratory nematode Caenorhabditis elegans, can enter a special survival stage called dower, when food is low, the population is crowded, or conditions are stressful. In that state, the animal does not feed normally. It becomes tougher. It waits. This is one of the great secrets of microscopic life. For large animals, escape often means running. For tiny animals, escape can mean becoming almost still. The soil nematode world is not one creature. It is a whole kingdom of lifestyles. Some nematodes feed on bacteria. These are among the great grazers of the underground. They move through soil water films and suck in bacterial cells, helping control bacterial populations and releasing nutrients back into the soil. Some feed on fungi. They pierce or scrape fungal threads and draw out food from the living network of the soil. Some feed on plant roots. These are the plant parasitic nematodes. Many have a needle-like mouthpart called a stylet. With it, they puncture root cells and feed from the plant. Some remain outside the root and feed from the surface. Others enter the root tissues. A few become sedentary, establishing feeding sites and changing the plant's own cells into nutrient sources. These plant parasites are the nematodes farmers worry about. Root knot nematodes, cyst nematodes, lesion nematodes, and other groups can damage crops, stunt growth, reduce yields, and open the door for other plant diseases. They are not monsters. They are just animals feeding in the way their bodies evolved to feed. But in farms and gardens, their feeding can become a serious problem. Yet it would be a mistake to think nematodes are only harmful. Most nematodes in the environment are not parasites of humans, and many are beneficial or essential. There are predatory nematodes that attack other nematodes. There are omnivores that feed at several levels of the food web. There are insect parasitic nematode that naturally infect soil insects. Some of these, especially groups like Steinernema and Heterorhabditis, are used by gardeners and farmers as biological control agents against insect pests. In the soil, nematodes are not just worms. They are hunters, grazers, parasites, recyclers, indicators, survivors. Their feeding shapes the underground world. When bacterial feeding and fungal feeding nematodes eat microbes, they do not simply remove them. They digest what they need and release waste rich in nutrients. This helps return nitrogen and other elements to forms plants and microbes can use. In this way, a tiny worm becomes part of the soil's nutrient engine. Dead leaves fall. Bacteria and fungi break them down. Nematodes feed on those microbes. Predators feed on nematodes. Nutrients move. Roots grow. Plants rise. Animals above ground eat the plants. The life of a forest, a grassland, a garden, or a farm is connected to movements so small that we almost never see them. A nematode begins life in an egg. Inside that egg, a juvenile develops. Like insects and other molting animals, nematodes grow by shedding their cuticle. The usual life cycle includes the egg, 4 juvenile stages, and the adult. Each stage ends with a molt. The young nematode looks like a smaller version of the adult, though some species change shape dramatically as they mature. Reproduction varies widely. Many nematodes have males and females. Some reproduce through self-fertilizing hermaphrodites. Some can reproduce without males through parthenogenesis. In C. elegans, the best-known nematode in science, most individuals are self-fertile hermaphrodites, while males are rare. Under good laboratory conditions, this worm can develop from egg to adult in only a few days. But soil is not a laboratory. In the wild, temperature, moisture, food, predators, and crowding and all affect development. Some nematodes complete a life cycle quickly. Others take longer. Plant parasitic species often have life cycles measured in weeks, depending on species and conditions. The exact lifespan of most wild soil nematodes is not clearly known because thousands of species live in hidden environments and are difficult to track individually. In the laboratory, C. elegans usually lives about 2 to 3 weeks under standard conditions, but that number should not be applied to all nematodes. The soil is too diverse for one simple answer. Every nematode lives under pressure. The soil is full of enemies. Predatory nematodes can swallow smaller worms. Mites and tiny arthropods can attack them. Protozoa may feed on small stages. Fungi can become deadly hunters. Some fungi build microscopic traps, sticky nets, rings, or adhesive knobs that catch nematodes as they pass. The worm struggles. The fungus grows into it. The hunter becomes food. Even the soil itself is dangerous. If the water dries, nematodes can be trapped. If oxygen drops too low, their metabolism suffers. If temperatures rise too high or fall too low, life slows or ends. Chemicals, pollution, soil compaction, and destruction of organic matter can change the whole community. A healthy soil has spaces, moisture, roots, microbes, and food. A damaged soil can become a broken city. And yet nematodes spread almost everywhere. They are found in forests, farms, grasslands, wetlands, deserts, tundra, riverbanks, compost, moss, freshwater sediments, marine sediments, and around plant roots. Some species are local, others are widespread. They move through water. They travel in mud stuck to animals, shoes, tools, roots, and farm machinery. Some can spread with plant material. Resistant eggs or cysts can persist in soil and be carried from place to place. Their numbers are almost impossible to imagine. Scientific estimates suggest that the topsoil of Earth contains around 4.4 10 to 20 nematodes. That is not thousands, not millions, not billions. It is a number so huge it becomes difficult to feel. Some estimates translated as tens of billions of soil nematodes for every human being alive. This means that while humans build cities on the surface, nematodes occupy the planet below us in numbers beyond ordinary imagination. They are not rare curiosities. They are one of the great animal presences on Earth. Their evolutionary history is ancient, but not easy to read. Nematodes are soft-bodied, tiny animals, and soft bodies do not fossilize well. Their deep origin is still studied and debated. They belong to a larger branch of molting animals because they shed their outer cuticle as they grow. Fossil evidence for parasitic nematodes reaches far back in Earth history, including records interpreted from ancient plant and animal associations. But the fossil record is incomplete. Much of their history must be reconstructed through anatomy, genetics, and comparisons between living species. One reason nematodes matter so much to science is that they make biology visible. C. elegans became one of the most important model animals ever studied. It is small, transparent, easy to grow, and has a short life cycle. Scientists have used it to study development, nerves, aging, genetics, programmed cell death, and gene regulation. The animal is so tiny that researchers can watch cells divide and organs form. Inside a transparent worm, the invisible rules of life become easier to see. This does not mean every soil nematode is C. elegans. It is only one species among a vast phylum. But it shows what nematodes can teach us. A creature the size of a comma helped reveal how bodies develop, how cells die at the right time, how genes can be switched off, and how aging can be studied in a complete living animal. The soil nematode world is full of facts that feel almost unreal, but they are real. Some nematodes carry a needle-like stylet that works like a microscopic syringe for feeding from plant cells. Some predatory nematodes hunt other nematodes in the same darkness where they live. Some insect parasitic nematodes cooperate with bacteria, entering an insect host and releasing bacterial partners that help kill and digest the host. Some nematodes can pause development when life becomes impossible, waiting for a better signal. Some species are so transparent that under the microscope, you can see the digestive tract, eggs, and internal organs inside the body. And some live their whole lives in a space smaller than a raindrop, yet still take part in cycles that feed forests and farms. Are soil nematodes dangerous to humans? Most free-living soil nematodes are harmless to people. You do not need to fear the ordinary nematodes living in healthy garden soil. Certain nematode species can parasitize humans or animals, and some have soil-related transmission, especially in places with poor sanitation. But the hidden nematode community in soil is mostly a natural part of the ecosystem. The greater concern in agriculture is plant parasitic nematodes that damage roots. The greater benefit is the enormous number of nematodes that help recycle nutrients, regulate microbes, support soil food webs, and even control pests. They are both problem and solution. It depends on the species, it depends on the place. It depends on the balance. A healthy soil does not mean soil without nematodes. It means soil with the right community, bacterial feeders, fungal feeders, predators, omnivores, and plant feeders held in ecological balance. Scientists study nematode communities because they can reveal what is happening underground. A soil rich in certain nematode groups may show strong food web structure. A disturbed soil may show a simpler, more stressed community. In this way, nematodes become living signals. They tell stories about the land. A farmer may see a weak crop. A scientist may look deeper and find root-feeding nematodes. A soil ecologist may examine the whole nematode community and see whether the soil is rich, disturbed, polluted, dry, compacted, or recovering. These tiny animals are not just residents of soil. They are biological witnesses. Under the microscope, a nematode can look almost ghost-like. It twists through a drop of water. Its body bends with silent force. Its mouth pumps. Its intestine darkens with food. Eggs may shine inside the body. The tail tapers into a delicate point. Around it, bacteria drift like dust. Fungal strands cross the field like cables, and soil particles loom like stones. There is no music there, no sunlight, no open squasty, but there is life. A fierce, patient, ancient kind of life. The world of soil nematodes reminds us that nature does not only happen in forests, oceans, mountains, and savannas. Nature also happens beneath a fallen leaf, around a single root hair, inside a wet space between two grains of soil. The ground beneath us is not dead matter. It is breathing with unseen struggle. It is full of animals too small to notice, but too important to ignore. And somewhere under your feet, right now, a transparent worm is moving through darkness, feeding the soil that feeds the plant that feeds the world. That is the nematode soil world, a universe hidden in dirt, and one of the smallest reminders that life on Earth is far deeper, stranger, and more connected than we can see.